Okay, so this last video you don't have to listen to, but it does have a couple tricks that we've found over the little course. One, remember all those students that you had to give the scores to? Well, they can't actually submit the assignment. So what we found is if you go into the people and you act as user of whatever student had submitted the assignments, like this student here, I'll act as her. Or you can have all your kids do this in class at the same time. If you have them in front of you, then just go in and tell them to do this, because what ends up happening is when they get in here, see how currently right now, this is showing submitted. So it gives her that green check mark. Well, it used to not, because I had scored that assignment for her. I gave her a 4. She didn't actually submit her assignment in Mathia. I gave her a grade. And that messes up with the student's ability to move forward. So if you left the settings of this assignment as the default settings, you left it where it says they can submit a comment. So in order for them to get that little check mark, the kids can come in here and they can click, this says new attempt because I already did it for her, but they could click here and they can type into this text box anything. Or you can say file upload and then they can upload you screenshots of anything. That might be super helpful if they're having issues on Mathia and they want to show you a picture of what's happening. You might want to, instead of be defaulting a text box, you can have them do something else. So all the kids that you had to fix the score for because they had already done the work before you started, then you have to have them do this. Or you just don't add those assignments to your checklist. So you could also just not add the assignments they have already done to date to that little checklist. That's going to bug some of your OCD kids that don't see the little green check marks, but they can live. So either everyone that has already submitted has to just submit to you, hey, I submitted this, or whatever you tell them to do. They just have to submit something. They literally can just say, hey, and then hit submit. And that will release this assignment and show the little check mark in the modules. Or they have to, they just have to do that. Or you have to just not include it in your module view. Don't add it to the different things that you want the check mark. So it's your preference. I personally just went in for the kids because I didn't have tons of kids that have already submitted a lot of work. And I submitted randomness for each of them. And it immediately gave them the little green check mark. And because of that, they can see all of their items are completed. And you can see that she is currently working right here on getting her notebook checked before she starts her first assessment for the year. So that's pretty much it. Those were all my tricks for everything you can do. I know I went over it fast. I understand that for some of you that's really hard. Remember, as long as you get them into the grade book, so you do have to delete the old assignments, you do have to give them credit for it, but those are the only things you have to, and you have to assign the new assignments. Those are the only thing you have to do, because then it's in their grade book. All this other stuff means that you're going to get the kids doing better work. They're just going to be more likely to turn it in, more likely to do all of those things that we know that they need, like the little help. We've found these little checklists actually help them a lot, and it shows the parent exactly where they are and how far behind they are.